Welcome to A Bed in Bangkok with two bitches. I'm Meg.
And I'm Joanna. So we're going to be stacking a few of these episodes just in case like you're realizing maybe we didn't mention something that's happening or whatever. Meg has to go to US for work. So today we thought let's just talk about our background, how we both ended up in Bangkok and how we met, and yeah, just kind of a
Who we are.
exactly, well, who we've become.
Who we've become. Namaste. This is a self-help podcast.
I mean, honestly, how I started out here and how it's gone, it's moving on up.
Well, yeah. I mean, but like that's a good segue because you've been here significantly longer than I have. Mm. So why don't you start? So when did you come to Bangkok?
I arrived, I want to say August 2017.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
That's like 9 years ago.
Almost, yeah. Yeah. So, I was young and naive. No, I'm just
Young maybe, but naive never.
Well, anyway, so yeah, I was living in Germany. I was happy. I had a great apartment. I had just opened my Pilates studio maybe a year before. I had great friends. I was having a great life. And then, that's of course when things change. Not that it isn't great, but I
met a guy.
Exactly. And it just flipped everything, flipped my world upside down. And we did long distance for a bit. And then I found out about actually a gym for sale here, even though that's not what I was doing at the time. But we said it might be a good opportunity to do the gym. It's already a steady business. And then I add Pilates to it. So that's kind of how it started. And we ended up out, although he was living like in Bangkok, this gym was located outside of this expat community in Nonthaburi. And I had no idea what any of that meant. Okay. I, felt like it's difficult to get anywhere in Bangkok. So 8 kilometers is 8 kilometers is 8 kilometers. It is not, which, I mean, you're looking at me like, you idiot.
8 kilometers is 3 hours or 20 minutes. Yeah. It just depends.
So I went out there like on a weekday during the day, and it wasn't a big deal, and you're just laughing. I hear, I'm like, yeah, but also
that's like fantasy traffic.
Okay.
That's a magical time of day.
To be fair though, my husband should have known better, but we were just looking for a way for me to move here that made sense, so we were both just,
he was wooing you and he was going to do whatever he could to find a good situation.
I mean, I had to buy the damn thing.
All right, so he could have wooed you a little harder.
he could have, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Any men who are listening, do buy the gym for her.
No, I mean, in the end, it was all fair, but it was, it was actually like quite a big, I was giving up mine and do it. Yeah, but anyway, so what I liked about it when I went out there and saw it, because I got kind of driven around and, it felt like a village. And he doesn't like it when I say this, but the place where I was living in Germany before, I call a village. He says it's a town, but it feels like you know a lot of the people, you know exactly where you go for this and that. So it felt just safe compared to big old Bangkok. Not that, I'd lived in Shanghai before, but Shanghai is also just easier. It's just you can ride your bike, you can walk.
Yeah.
So Bangkok felt kind of
wild.
Yeah, and just not walkable.
Yeah.
So it was, just I thought, okay, this is a good start. And I get to be with him. So what could go wrong?
Dun, dun, dun.
Anyway, so yeah, that's how I ended up here.
Okay.
And so then I started this gym, and it was in this rundown house. We lived in the house. I'm going to tell you a really gross story.
Oh, I love the gross stories.
Yeah. listener discretion advised. So I had this trainer there, and he would do the gym downstairs. I had the Pilates upstairs, but the gym was next to this kitchen. So in the evening after my classes, I would go into the kitchen and cook something for dinner, which is also like times have changed. But there was no air con
In the kitchen or in the gym?
in the kitchen.
Okay.
And it was closed doors to the gym, so it was hot in there. There was a fan, but there was also a gas stove, so I couldn't have the fan on. So I would just be like just covered in sweat when, yeah, it was disgusting. That house was awful. And one day, the trainer comes into the kitchen to tell me something, and he's just not looking at me. Like, not making eye contact, but not looking at me. And I thought, what is his problem? Like, what's going on? Later, I realized I had, like, massive tit sweat. Like, just drenched. And he felt
He
really
was being like a nice
uncomfortable.
Thai guy who is not going to stare at your tit sweat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, or he was about to throw up. I don't know. He was definitely not amused. So that's like the place we lived in. Like the ceiling fell in on us at one point. Yeah, and then eventually, I found another space like 5 minutes from that, and it was just way better. It was just a really nice. Well, you've seen it. It's
lovely.
Yeah, it was lovely and big, but there also the ceilings fell in on me. So
The ceiling did go in a lot.
I mean, the water damage all the time.
Yeah.
And then we ended up moving the house as well, moving into that community. And do you know how we ended up moving in there? Because our house got broken into.
Oh.
While we were there.
The gym house?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
While you were in it?
We were sleeping. Oh, I was sleeping. But my husband was awake listening, and our dog at the time was also pretend sleeping and just like sitting there like like I'm not doing and he heard someone come into the house downstairs, and then he said once he really realized what was happening, he quietly got up and locked the bedroom door. And then just laid in bed, hoping I wouldn't wake up because I would probably scream.
You'd be screaming, yeah.
You've seen me on the walk when a lizard comes.
The lizards in you.
So then he saw he says two people actually walk by our door, like the little gap under the door. He could see feet. Yeah. And then what's funny is I had this little bag, like just a bag, and it looked like a fake lunch bag. It was kind of like fake leather and rolled up, and I had that hanging in my like little clothing room with a ton of money in it from payments I had gotten from customers at the gym that I hadn't deposited yet, and it looked like basically a garbage bag or whatever, so they didn't even open it. And they were so disappointed in this shit house with some leftover weights downstairs and
food in the kitchen, and that's it.
Yeah. And they drank our milk. They poured out our like Nespresso capsule. I think they were just curious, like, what is this tube with like the yeah. They stole his computer, and that was it. Yeah. Because there was nothing else to steal.
But also, like, it's so rare in Thailand for there to be a break-in.
Not as much as you would think.
Yeah.
His
you
old
mean
house
not as rare as
had
I would
also
think?
been broken into like
Really?
once or twice. But when
So your husband is really the through line in all of this.
Yeah,
He's
well,
the reason.
Normally it's like, I've heard that it can be like, not in that neighborhood, but like in other neighborhoods, they might say like, well, this person's out of town for a couple, like that type thing.
Yeah. That's when I've heard of it happening.
Yeah. This one was, I mean, I feel kind of bad for them because like that must have been so, like, I think they felt sorry for us.
I love that you have empathy for the people that broke into your house, but also I'd be like, bitch, you drank my milk.
Well, you know why? No, I don't, that's fine. But it's because also, I mean, they didn't even try to open that door. Like, that wouldn't happen.
No, my God, in the
Yeah.
States or something?
Exactly.
Yeah, or
So,
Europe, they would have busted into all the rooms.
yeah. So, but
They probably didn't have any weapons on them.
probably not. And they probably even took their shoes off to come in the house.
It's probably like, so my brother lives in New York, lives in Brooklyn, and when they first moved into their place, they have a ground floor apartment, and so it has stairs that go down to like the basement level, and they have that door bolted and closed and whatever. And when they, in the midst of like recently living there, one of them took the garbage out and stupidly forgot to bolt that door. Well, at some point when they were away, somebody broke in, but they could tell it was kids because like kids went down there, looked around, ate Cheetos, left a bunch of like foods, like they were probably hiding out, right? Smoked a couple of cigarettes.
Okay.
And then pieced out of the house. So they didn't bother. They didn't try to go upstairs and like that's where all the good stuff was. They just hid in the basement.
So you're like, they have to be thankful that it was someone like that and not.
Oh, and then they left a hoverboard.
Oh.
And so when they talked to the cops, they were like, I remember my brother was concerned. He said, do you think they're going to come back for it, whatever? And the cops were like, nah, whatever. And he was, I was like, why don't you just put it on the street?
Yeah.
Like just put it on the fence and then someone will steal
You
it from
forgot
them. And
this.
that's your own thing. But then it's clearly not in your house anymore. And the cops were like, oh, I guess you could do that. Yeah. It's like, thanks, guys.
They're not going to do fingerprints or whatever,
No, they weren't. They
Yeah.
weren't super concerned at all. Okay, well, that's a wild story.
Yeah, so that's actually why then we felt so uncomfortable there afterwards, obviously.
Yeah.
And then that's when he said, let's find a house
In the
inside.
community.
Yeah, and so that's then how that started, and it was a good place to have the dog and whatever. And I was 2 seconds from work, so it worked out well. But I'm glad that it's over.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So, anyways, now I sold my studio at the end of June, so I'm finished with that, and we moved outside of the community a while ago. But yeah,
But now you live like in Bangkok proper, and that's delightful.
no, it's wonderful. I couldn't.
It's nice
I couldn't
because
be happier.
it gives me an excuse to get to come into the big city
Yeah. So you came
from the
here
burbs.
during COVID?
We came here at like the tail end of COVID.
Okay,
So
I couldn't remember.
Yeah. So the first abroad we did, like you had lived in Shanghai, we moved to China. We lived in Guangzhou.
Okay. Yeah.
But we only lived there for like 6 months because it was peak COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, my husband got a work opportunity here, which is what brought us here. So we're in the beginning of like the middle of year 4.
Okay.
Out here. But it's been really interesting because it's so different to live not right in the city. I think that like living in China, I don't know, you really only live in the cities. Like there really aren't sort of what we would consider like suburbs of the big cities. Right? It's like you're pretty much in the heart of all of it. But here, I think it's much more common for people to live outside of Bangkok or even like outside of Hua Hin or,
there's
Pattaya.
so many
There's so many.
outsides.
Yeah. And there's so many communities that continue to just like spread out and out and out. And so when we moved here talking about like 8 kilometers,
Yeah.
we were like, they said, oh, I don't remember how, that it's like 12 kilometers from downtown Bangkok. And I was like, amazing.
That's no problem.
I'm a girl from New York City. Like
Yeah.
this is easy peasy. I'll hop on the subway. I'll hop on the train. I'll jet on in.
Yeah.
And then I learned that is just not exactly how the case rolls here because
Exactly.
the traffic in Bangkok is otherworldly. And the train system, especially going out to the burbs, as you know, because that train that goes out to us only just relatively recently opened.
Yeah. And
It takes ages still.
I've never done it.
Oh, yeah. I've done it a bunch.
Okay.
But it's just like nothing's a direct route.
Yeah.
Right? You have to take that pink line to the Watt, to the green line,
Yeah,
to
exactly.
the blue line, to
Yeah.
this, to that. And, gripe about Bangkok, why the 2 different train lines cannot be on the same card system.
I know, right? And if you think about,
And they connect, and you transfer from one to the other.
when I lived in Shanghai, we had a card that you could use for everything, and that was forever ago. Taxis,
It's the same in Hong Kong.
metro, like it.
You can use it on the ferry, the train, the
Yeah.
taxi, the bus, absolutely everything.
I don't even know how the random question, but how does it work with the pink line? Is that also a separate card?
No.
Is that with the green line or the blue
The pink
line?
line's with the green line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
But
SkyTrain.
right when it opened, it had that like part of it fell down.
Mhm.
So that's where also I was like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, part of it fell down. I had made sure not to tell that to my kid because I was like, don't want to stress him out. You just sometimes have to trust and believe.
Yeah.
I think out here in Bangkok that stuff is okay.
Yeah, I mean it's been a while now, so I think it is okay. But I used to, when I would come downtown for Thai lessons, I would take a motorbike taxi to I think it was Blue Line.
Yes,
and
I've
then
done that.
but I mean no matter what, it takes
ages.
Yeah,
it takes ages.
You're in it for the haul.
And so now we have a car.
Okay.
And so it's funny because I know like you guys have a car.
Yeah.
I do all the driving. My husband does not drive in Thailand. I mean, he'll drive like if we go way out of the city on the big highways, but he will not drive like in the city proper. But it's as an American, it's driving on the other side of the road. It's also driving on the other side of the car. And I actually find that to be trickier than the road because like your lights and your windshield wipers are on opposite sides. So I'm constantly turning on the windshield wiper when I'm trying to turn on the lights. And then when I go back to the States, I'm constantly screwing it up.
Yeah.
Which I think stresses my mom out. Like when I borrow her car, like she thinks that I don't know how to drive a car anymore. Yeah. But I feel very badass when I'm like in the thick of the soys downtown with like dogs and hawker stalls and like
I'm impressed
motorbikes and I'm just like driving all over the place and
Yeah.
parking in weird spots.
I won't even drive my scooter.
I'm not scared. You would drive your scooter. That's my next goal. My next goal is I want a scooter. I want all the modes of transportation.
So I learned how. Okay, I should know how to drive a scooter like automatically.
Yeah, you've been driving it for ages.
But how it started was not like that. It started during COVID, actually, because I went to Germany like January, and COVID really like broke out like February here.
Yeah.
Like so I got back. It was February break.
Okay.
I went to Germany to meet a friend, and then she actually couldn't come because COVID had started and blah, blah, blah. Then I got back, and all of my customers were afraid to come to me because I had just been in Europe. So I was like, you can still go to the gym. I'll go to the apartment downtown. I won't be there. It's still safe to come, but
Sure.
like no Pilates class this week, but gym still open. And I was downtown for like a week with like nothing to do. And I thought, I'm going to just learn, like get my driver's license, but first you have to learn how to drive a scooter. I know it seems like it should be easy, but like I got on it and basically like fell off.
They are hard to balance on.
Yeah. And
Was it the one that you had?
I think it was.
Because you have that cutie little Vespa
Yeah.
set.
It was like something like that. Yeah.
I want one like that. I want to look like I'm on like in Capri.
It's a good one. So I think that's what I learned on, but it was somewhere around like Saturn, Cheongnonsi area. They had this rental place, but you had to prove that you could drive, and also like I needed them to bring it to me. I wasn't gonna rent it and like drive it home or something. And so they saw that I was just
like
useless.
running into walls and stuff.
So they took it to a temple, and I sat on it, and it was like a 5-year-old learning like without.
Did they like push it?
Yeah.
While you? Oh my God! Stop.
Yes.
And they pushed you around the Watt parking lot. Oh my God!
And there were children there laughing at me.
I bet there were. They were like, "Look at this Farang lady getting pushed about on her scooter."
And I think I had to drive around the temple like by myself for like I don't even know how many times before they would allow me on the street. Yeah. And so this is so pathetic.
I think it's cute. It's like learning to swim where they throw you in the pool and just see if you'll survive. They just put you on the little scooter.
Yeah, except that I didn't survive being thrown in the pool, obviously. And it would be like me now having like a swim instructor hold me while I flap back. like paddle my feet. So then I got it sent to the house, and then like every day during COVID, I would just drive around the big Mubon because it was just practice or whatever.
What's
so,
a Mubon?
Like the neighborhood.
Okay.
So
See, your ties. Like,
no, so
mine doesn't exist.
That's yeah. So sorry, that was just a side note for motorbikes. But so if that's what it took with the motorbike, then the car is not
harder.
Car.
Motorbikes are harder because you have to balance yourself. Like I don't have to balance myself in the car. The only thing with the car is that you constantly have to assume that a motorbike is going to run into you any second of any minute,
and I don't
from any direction, not necessarily the direction.
Yeah,
they're not going to be coming up beside you. They could be coming right at you.
I like a car your size because it's SUV, but it's
Mini.
You're sitting up high, but it's not too big. Our car is just too big. I don't like. It feels like it's just
Yeah, I've rented cars the size of yours. It's too much dimension for me.
Exactly.
Because it's so strange. Not strange. That's the wrong word. Thailand is so interesting because it's such a massive city with, you know, for anyone that hasn't been here, more cars than you can ever shake a stick at because there's been an explosion in cars as the middle class has exploded in Thailand. Everybody wanted to get a vehicle, which is why the traffic is so insane. And it is a big city. You need cars to get around because their public transport is not so like simplistic that it's just
and so
ubiquitous.
many people living outside.
Right. But like the streets are not built for cars. And if there's one car on it or a car parked on the side, like 9 times out of 10, it's really difficult to get around. They're all built for motorbikes.
Yeah. No,
and I just think it's so interesting that like even when they build new things like the parking garages, I think, baby, what car are you building this for? Nobody has Mini Coupes all over this city. It's like, you know what size the vehicles are.
Well, especially because so many people have these huge vans.
Yes.
You know?
Those like
Can you
massive
imagine
vans.
being a driver here?
No, I think it's the Lord's work. I think anyone that can do that, they should, like, it's like in New York City, anyone that drives like the delivery trucks, like you should get paid all the money in the universe.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you do that.
Well, and you're probably dealing with assholes as well.
Clearly. Yeah. Also as drivers in this city.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. I meant the people they're driving. Yeah.
And also just like the people that they're probably driving around.
That's what I meant.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you meant people like me on the road. I was like, we're assholes too.
I meant the people that they're driving around, including the young ones.
Oh my God. And all the privileged kids and all the privileged people.
Exactly.
That, especially like out of my hood. Yeah, it's a fascinating situation.
I feel like we got way off track.
No, there's no track.
I know. I'm just saying, like, how do we go from like how we arrived here to like being a driver and how much it must suck to deal with like some of the kids?
Well, that's life. That's life in Thailand, right?
Yeah.
I mean, being here every day, you know, these last almost 4 years is like a wild adventure in a constant, interesting assault on your senses. Yeah. It's like nothing is ever the same, and it's really fun because I feel like, you know, every street I go down, every place I go to, everything is something new.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the things I really like about this city. There's a vibrancy to it where it's like it's constantly unpeeling itself.
And evolving.
Yeah.
And like for the better.
Yeah.
It's really quite amazing to see the difference, and also just like the restaurant scenes and the bars and stuff like that, just how much cuter places have gotten and like nice. It's just really, it's cool to watch.
Yeah.
But I will say this, there's that one restaurant out there, the Thai restaurant on the little pond.
Oh yeah, which I still haven't gone to.
Oh, you haven't?
I know. I knew you were going to yell at me about this.
I mean, we went every week.
I know, you said
every
it.
Sunday.
And it's not that I have a reason that I haven't, other than I just need to go. We'll go this week.
Only thing that I miss out there.
Really?
Yeah, I do miss that place.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every Sunday.
We really got to go.
You know, it's such a pity. We used to talk about this. I found out about that place probably 2 years before we started going regularly. But we went out there on a random Saturday or Sunday, and it was just, I don't know what was going on, and I don't think it was that restaurant. I think it was just the area in general. Some type of sewage situation was happening. You know how it does here.
And it do.
It was, I mean, it was just brutal. And now, so we had we ordered a beer and realized like, oh,
You're like, we can't hang out here.
well, we're definitely not going to eat anything. And it was so like such a turnoff that we said, well, we're not going back there. And then I don't even know how, but somehow someone convinced us or said we're meeting there, and we thought, oh, that is a good place, you know? And we went there, and we're like, we've been missing out on this place for 2 years.
Because this one time there was a bad moment. Yeah.
But I mean, that is a gross thing. Like,
but I was going to say, that is like a unique, I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of other cities in the world where this is a challenge. It has definitely been my experience in Thailand, specifically in Bangkok, is like when you get those sewage days, you get those sewage smells that are just.
I definitely had it in Shanghai too.
Did you? Because
it was like different, but still, it was like,
yeah,
you never knew what you were going to get.
There's a bar out in that hood on the corner. I call it the toilet bar. Did I ever show you the toilet bar? It's like, you know, when you go out the gate towards Oasis and you go around the back. Anyway, there's one with like a wagon wheel, and at night there's always a band playing even if nobody's there.
So I used to see that when I was commuting.
Yeah.
And I would see it on my way home, and I always thought, that place looks cute.
Well, it looks like a cool dive bar,
right?
right? And I'm convinced, I know I have nothing to base this on other than my own desire to like create a narrative, which is I've decided that whomever owns it, he wants to be a rock star. And so I have gone any day of the week, like when I was doing a show downtown and I was coming back late at night, there'll be literally no one in that bar. And that band is full out playing rock and roll music.
I didn't know they even had a band.
Like every single night. It's awesome. That part's awesome. But I went once with a couple of girlfriends, like right when I first moved in. And I was like, can we go to that dive bar? I bet it's a hoot. We went over and we walked in and we sat down, and I was like, this bar smells like a toilet.
Oh,
like,
really?
Like in a way that you go,
yeah,
I can't.
Yeah, okay.
I just cannot. And so whenever we go by it, I'm always like, there's toilet bar, which is not fair to the bar.
No, but that's so funny because I used to see that. I never noticed it when I lived there because I didn't really go that way. I always went, I don't know how.
Yeah.
But when I was commuting towards the end, I would see it every night and think like, that's so cute. But I mean, it was usually around 8:30 when I was heading home.
No, they start playing late at night.
Maybe 7:30. But
they sound good.
I never saw anyone in it.
No one's ever in it, but they always are out there playing rock and roll, full out, like a 5-piece band.
It probably is like.
I think it's great.
Yeah,
somebody's dream.
Someone's having fun doing it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there every night, right?
That's true.
So yeah, basically, and then we met because you came to my Pilates.
I did, because you were the magical Pilates teacher who has since abandoned me.
Well. I can't say I'm sad.
I know you're not sad. My abs are sad, though. Very sad.
I will say this. I was doing a Pilates class, I don't know, yesterday or the day before. It's a different type of Pilates, but still, I thought, wow, everything was just easier when I was.
Yeah, when you were doing it all the time?
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
I did one at that resort that we were just at. And I was like, feeling all like cock of the walk before I went in. I was like, I've done Pilates before. I'll be great. And then we started doing something and I was like, oh, no, my abs have officially left the building.
Yeah. Mine are not really, like they're there, but they're sleeping. Yeah. They're like, it's still nap time.
They're on holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we met and I was your most fun client.
Actually, yes. But now, I don't mean this to be mean, but that wasn't difficult.
Wow. Wow. Brutal. Heartbreaking. Well, I'm going to choose to take that in the spirit with which I intend it, which is that I'm fucking awesome.
Exactly. It is. But you know.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying.
Brutal.
Yeah, I know.
Brutal
that was
truths.
really mean.
Yeah, that's pretty good though. And there you go.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for joining us and hope you have a wonderful day.
Bye.